Good morning, Breakfast Club family. This is Mark Stevens for our host, Joe Shoup, who won't be with us today. But welcome to the Breakfast Club. Top of the morning to you. Hope you had a great day yesterday. We had an exciting day yesterday. I'll share a little bit of it with you today. And then I'll get into a subject that we all may have or have gone through, but a lot of people face, and it was very evident last night. As people are starting to chime in. I thought we had a great session yesterday with Jennifer Ashby, talking about connecting, and we're going to have her back again, and we will have, I think tonight we'll have Anson Ashby, and he'll be talking to us about Facebook and those different social medias as to how you can get started in them and that type of thing. But yesterday, we had a private carrot bar, well, it wasn't a carrot, we talked about carrot bars because that was part of the presentation, but AdTech Worldwide did a community presentation yesterday, public-private community presentation. And we felt that it went very well. The participants were myself, Cecil Piper, Brian Frazier, and one of Brian's VIPs, Joseph Weich. We hosted the meeting. And we found out a lot of very interesting things as to how people think. And what it let us know was that our presentation, AdTech business presentation, is an expression that some of you may have heard or may not heard. It's called the bomb. And we feel it's going to blow up. Well, we don't mean not blow up. We mean it's going to go big time. And that's why I keep talking about it. And that's why I'm so proud of what we accomplished. Because we had a mixture of people there last evening. We had millennials, we had baby boomers, and guess what? It's like I've been saying, they're in trouble. And the reason that they're in trouble is they don't understand. But we understand. And that's why Joe and I put that presentation together. And you understand because you're starting to watch it and understand it. And the big key that I got out of it is that we are so needed. It's phenomenal how much we're needed. And Joe and I we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about onboarding and about thinking and everything. But when we do that, I want to do that with him. So I'm gonna wait. And what I'm going to share with you today, because of last night, is I'm going to share with you 5 bad money habits that you and I may have had, may still have, but we can break it today. And you know, it's amazing how much about money and finance that people do not know. But many of you on here do know. And I just feel it's an obligation of ours to share it and to teach it and to grow our business and to bring the people that we shared with into our business so that they can get free. Now, I have a question for all of you, and know this, that when I talk to you, I talk to myself. I don't know it all. I definitely don't know it all. That's why I say that I learned from you a lot. When I mean you, my family, my AdTech Worldwide family, Breakfast Club family, and Carrot Bars family. The 3 put in together in the sauce. And the question is this: And this is a question that I think you should ask people. I'm going to give you 2 questions to ask people. 3 questions, as a matter of fact, to ask people in your travels, your family, your friends, yourself. Question number 1 is simply this. If what you thought you knew were true, and it turned out not to be, when would you want to know? And let me phrase that again. If what you thought you knew were true, and it turned out not to be, when would you want to know? Well, my answer to that question is yesterday. Well, we know we can't, there are 2 days in the year that we can't do anything about, and that's yesterday and tomorrow. So the reason I say yesterday, what I'm saying is that yesterday is gone. I want to know right now. Tell it to me. The second question is, this. First question is, if what you thought you knew were true turned out not to be, when would you want to know? And the second question is, when I tell you, when do you want to do something about it? Or would you want to do something about it? And the third question is, if I can show you a way to solve them, is there any reason you wouldn't want to do that? Not would you want to do that? No. Is there any reason why you wouldn't want to do that? Take care of it today. And the reason I pose it that way is because our presentation and what we have here, you can solve the situation. So think about those 3 questions that I just asked you when I go over these 5 bad money habits that you can break today. Because in that meeting last night, these things came up, and we got commitments from people to come back next Monday when we do it again and bring somebody with them. They got a whole week to do that. Because we had one individual in the meeting who said, I don't understand that. I'd rather have dollars because I don't understand how you make money with gold. I don't understand how I would make money. And at the end of the meeting, I asked the individual, I said, would you rather get paid in dollars or gold? And he said dollars and dollars. And what I'm getting at is simply this, is that it wasn't that he was trying to be funny or whatever, because I also asked him, I said, now, if the Federal Reserve today, and I was talking about yesterday, so I meant today, so I told him tomorrow. If tomorrow the Federal Reserve declared that the dollars that you have in your pocket are worthless, have no intrinsic value at all, and you couldn't buy food, you couldn't pay for a place to stay, you couldn't buy gasoline, these things that are very needable, what would you do? And the only thing he could come up with is that I'd probably have to hurt somebody, which wasn't a great answer. And I kind of walked away, but I came back. And what it told me was simply this, family, that people need education. They need to be educated. EdTech Worldwide is an education company, and is a company that we teach you how to have a successful business from home, and we teach you how to get your financial house in order. That's my point. And all of you that's in this family and come to the Breakfast Club, you are those instruments for education and change. Without change, there is no progress. People don't even realize that the fiat currency that they carry in their pocket, in their pocketbooks, and that they're paid from their employers with, that it's practically worthless. People don't understand why things cost twice as much as it cost today, even as opposed to last week, because prices are going up. They don't understand it's not that things cost more, it's the devaluation of the currency that they have. It's not worth more today than it was yesterday. And every day is less and less and less. And that's why prices seem to be so high. But they also don't understand that if they get educated, that they can change what they are up against. And guess what? You, me, Karatbars affiliates are the instruments to change if you know how to educate people. That's what we want to change. That's what we do. That's what we're here for. So let me kind of get into this, and hopefully we have a little bit of time at the end that you can ask questions or even give your take to it. Because like I said, we're all in this together. We're all in this to help each other. We're all in this to grow together. We just want to be traveling the same road, and we want that road to be paved with gold. So let me do this. Let me start with the first one. And the first one, well, let me say this first. Every once in a while, you might catch yourself in a bad habit. Nobody's perfect. And they almost seem inevitable, the bad habits. They come up somewhere, somehow. But I'm always determined, to squash them, because I really don't want to have bad habits. If I'm trying to teach somebody, I don't want to have those habits. Not that I don't, because I'm not perfect either. But what I'm saying is that as I recognize them, I'm sure that I'm not the only one in that same situation. So if I have the knowledge to help myself and somebody else get out, then that's what I want to do. Because when it comes to bad financial habits, which are some of the worst ones, there are some serious ones that can cost you thousands of dollars. Which of these habits are you guilty of committing? That's my question to you and to me. Because if you have them, they could cost you thousands of dollars. One big one is who's controlling your money? Who's handling your money? Brokers, and as I've said time and time again, the reason they call them brokers is because they keep you broke. All they're really concerned about is the money that they make through fees and things like that. If you lose on your quote-unquote investments, the broker doesn't suffer, because the broker gets paid for putting you in the one that messed you up. Think about that. Now, I'm going to get away from that because I want to talk about the down-to-earth things. For example, credit cards. Spending with your credit cards when you can't afford it. Now, I'm not saying credit cards are bad, because they have their place when used properly. But here's the thing. Credit card interest rates are regularly well above 10%. They're well above 10%. And see, that translates into a lot of interest charges when you have to use them, to make a purchase that you might not even need. Because a lot of us have what you call impulse buying. You want the latest and the greatest, or you're in a shopping center, grocery store, shopping center, any type of merchant shop or whatever, and you see something that just catches your eye, and it's almost like, I gotta have it, but I don't have the money. Oh, but what I do have is I got some plastic, and I can put it on here. Notwithstanding and not remembering that, guess what? You got to pay the piper. You don't have to pay it today, and you got what you want, so you're gratified because you have it. But guess what? The bill is coming due. 30 days from now. It's on your credit card today, costing you interest, but in 30 days, the bill is due. And if you can't pay it, then guess what? It rolls over into the next month, and the interest is put on it, and it's rolled over to the next month and the next month until you pay it off. And by the time you pay it off, that one $200 item could have cost you $5,000. And I'm serious about that. Check your credit card. Check your credit cards and see if I know what I'm talking about. So that's one of the first ones. And see, here's the thing. If you're living from paycheck to paycheck and you got an emergency or whatever, that could really be bad. That could really be bad. See, because things like that can make you late on the payment of your credit card. Now you got two challenges. Number one is you're late and you just messed up your credit. Number two is that interest is piling on and piling on. So unless you can entirely pay it off each month, like the American Express requires you to do, at least some of their cards, you can get caught up into something that you don't want to be in. So that's a bad habit. Here's another one. Not tracking your transactions with a budget. You know, we always talk about budgets, and we always talk about in our Karatbars business, you know, we talk about tracking. What are you doing? You know, I've covered some of that the other week. What are you doing when your money comes in and your money goes out? Do you track it? Because you want to have more coming in than going out. When we talk about assets and liabilities, you want to have more assets. You want those always greater than your liabilities. Because that's when you're in better shape, when you're looking good. But if those liabilities exceed your assets or they're running neck and neck, you can run into a problem real quick. And you don't want to do that. So tracking is very important. And you know, like when you have a budget, that's what allows you to track your money, because you know you budgeted this amount for food, this amount for shelter, this amount for car expenses and things like that. And in your business, you have the same thing. You know, this amount for advertising, you know, this amount for, you know, postage and things like that. This amount for equipment that you need to run your business. So, you know, budgeting is very important as well as tracking. So, and these are, you know, these are categories that you need to monitor. You need to monitor real closely so you know what's happening in your business. So again, the credit cards, the tracking. Now, here's another one. Believe it or not, waking up late. I'm serious. Waking up late, I'm convinced anyway, that it affects your finances. Well, why do I say that? Because if you're waking up late, we're all pressed for time. Then you become pressed for time, and you're like many people out there, you know, you dread the alarm clock. But see, we're a little different, if you understand where I'm going with that. We that are entrepreneurs, we that are successful business people, we don't have to worry about the clock. Because if you have that residual income, if you have that product that's unlike any other product, and you're working with it properly, you don't necessarily have those worries, because you're not worried about what time you get up. Now, I'm not really, because I can get up when I want to, but I get up early because I have to do the breakfast club. I have to prepare. I have to get my mail out for the day. And that's why I get up early. I get up early and I go to bed late. I don't have to go to bed late, but I do. It's because I enjoy what I'm doing, helping you and helping other people. So that's what keeps me up. You know, the phone, Skype, email. But I could structure my day. I could structure my day like Joe Norman does. Joe Norman works 8 to 4. And then he basically shuts down. His office hours are like 8 to 4. He said, you can call me between 8 to 4. And I basically conduct my business between 8 to 4. After that, he spends his time with his lovely family. And maybe spends his time on maybe some other ventures that he might have as well. But as far as his Karatbars business, it's 8 to 4. So that's why I talk about, you know, waking up late. You've heard the saying, the early bird gets the worm. Well, there's some truth to that. But I like, you know, I like waking up early and getting an early start. And I don't necessarily want to go to bed late, but if I didn't love as much as I do what I'm doing, I wouldn't be going to bed that late, not as late as I go to bed and get up. I need to get more sleep because it's not healthy. But when you take things on, when you take on projects and when you take on people and you care about them, like we talked about yesterday, when you have connected with them and you want to be there for them, it costs you sleep. But that's just me. It's not that I have to. I'm the one that have to change it if I want to change it, because I'm the one that can change it if I want to change it. But you may not be in that position. People that you meet definitely are not in that position because they don't know what we know. They don't know how to do certain things. And that's why I say it's incumbent upon us, and we have that responsibility, if we so accept it or want to accept it, to change that for ourselves and for other people. That's what I'm saying with that. Now, there's another one, and that is consuming to hopefully find contentment. And what I mean by consuming, you're buying this, you're buying that, you're consuming this, you're consuming that, because it gives you comfort. It makes you happy. Well, that's okay. I don't have anything against that. But my point is, put yourself in a position to do that. So that when you do consume, that it's because you want to and not because you have to. There's a difference. Wanting to and having to, there's a difference. In all areas. In all areas. In your business area and in your personal area. See, because if you actually consume more than you produce, you got a problem. You got a problem. So you have to know what you're consuming, why, and you have to know what you're producing and how. How are you going to produce it? How are you going to produce more so that you can consume what you want to consume? And basically what I'm saying is this, is that people that do that, they live paycheck to paycheck. I was reading, and I'll share that with you on another day, that most people cannot afford to miss one paycheck. They can't afford to miss it. They will be in chaos. Wouldn't you say those people are in trouble? And don't you think they need you to show them how not to live that way, how not to be in that position? And that you have the vehicle that can show them that? All that we have put together in the last year is the vehicle. And all you have to do is share it. Share it day in and day out. And if you do that, not only are you going to, my other question was this too. I forgot that one. Do you feel like you want to be free? Or have you ever thought about being free? Now, let me tell you something. Maybe my idea of freedom and yours could be different, but I'm going to share it with you. Because I'm not free, and I want to be free. And I'm going to keep working and keep working and keep working at it until I'm free. Now, if you owe somebody 1 penny, you are not free. You are still a slave. You're still a slave. So, have you ever thought about being free? Have you put a time limit on it? When do you want to be free? If I can show you a way to be free, is there any reason why you wouldn't want to be? Or is there any reason why you want to see how you can be? And is there a reason why you feel that you shouldn't be? Well, I can help you. I got a great family that can help you. That's you. So my point in saying that is that I expect my family to be out there helping other people and bring them into this family so we can get them free. So we all can become free together. Some of us are going to become free sooner than others, but that's okay. The bottom line is this: so long as we all get free. That's my battle cry. So long as we all get free. And like I say, if you owe somebody a penny, you're still not free. So think about that. And when I say these things, just think about it. You might not agree with all of them, or you might not agree with any of them. But I'm just saying, just give it some consideration. Just consider what I'm saying. And if it makes sense, then do it and share it with somebody else that it makes sense to as well. Because you can help get them free. And the more, guess what? The more people you get free, the freer you are. The more people that you can help free, the freer you will be in a lot of ways, both financially, personally, spiritually, everything, all areas. Freedom is a great thing, and that's why people die for it. That's why people go to war for it. That's why people give their life for it. Freedom is a wonderful thing. And our country was founded on freedom principles. But they somehow got convoluted. And they created a lot of rabbit holes. We won't be talking about that today. But the rabbit holes that people are in, they can get out of. They just need to know how. And it's up to us to help them, I think. So consuming to hopefully find contentment. It's okay to do that, but it's better to be in a position to do that. That if you go out here to the shopping center today and you spend $500, it's not a big deal. Because I can tell you, it's a big deal with a lot of people, with and without money. I'm telling you, it is. But if you can go and do that, and it doesn't bother you, because you can go back and do the same thing tomorrow if you like, that's the freedom that you want. That's the freedom that you want. And that's the freedom that we're offering the world. That's the freedom that we're offering the world. Now, there's one more habit, and very, very, very important. And that is simply this: using emergency funds, using investment accounts as emergency funds. You don't want to do that. That's why I say get out of paper. And that's why I say you want to have an account backed by gold, and you want to have an account that if you go in and you use it, it doesn't affect you in a negative way. You can't do that really with investment accounts because they aren't that safe as anyway, really, to be perfectly frank with you, unless they're backed by gold. And I don't know any of them that really are backed by gold. I do know one account that's backed by gold, and that's the Karatbars savings account. The reason it's backed by gold because it's your gold that's in there that's backing it. And that's a great thing. That's a great thing. Matter of fact, I think you all should become garage qualified with it. And let me tell you something. I was talking to Brian Fraser earlier today, and we talked about something. And I told him that that people are doing other things and making good money in other MLMs, affiliate programs, and things like that. And you know what? We're not really a threat to them. And we shouldn't be. We should be a comfort to them, because we don't threaten their business. We enhance their business. They can keep doing what they're doing, but guess what? They still need a Current Bond savings account, Goldback savings account, because the companies that are paying them for what they're doing are paying them in fiat dollars, and they're paying them in dollars that are devaluing every day. But what we have and what we offer, that's not the case. So they need what we have to protect what they have. So that's a habit that you don't want to have, is using your investment accounts, those that still have them, as an emergency fund. Because when you take money out, basically you're losing it. So I can't get into the details of all of that, but it's something to think about. So let me sum it up this way. Those habits that I talked about today, look at it. Look at your situation. Look at yourself in the mirror. Saying, do I have those habits he talked about? And if you do, let's start today to work towards breaking them. And let's work towards sharing with other people. Because guess what? A lot of people have those habits. And we have a way to show them how to break those habits. And we have a way to show them how to enhance those accounts that they have and how to protect them. And it's up to us, because we have the presentation that can prove to them. Because the baby boomers and the millennials are in trouble, and they're coming out and saying it. I'm in trouble. We're in trouble. I can't even retire now. I have to go to McDonald's or Burger King or somewhere. I need to get a job. And if I don't get a job, just over broke again, then I'll be still J-O-B, jumping off a bridge. Let's keep them from jumping off a bridge and having a just over broke job. And let's show them where they can improve that. Because if the next 5 years for the millennials and for the baby boomers are like the last 5 years, they won't be getting ahead. But guess what? We can ask them that question, and we can help them. We can change that for them. So that's my message for the day. So I'm gonna check the chat box. If you have any questions, we'll take a couple of minutes, put it in the chat box. Or if you have something that you want to add, that's all right too. Because I haven't covered everything. I've covered some things. And like I said, I don't know everything. You may know something that I don't know. And if you do, I want to learn it. That's just me. I always keep my patent office open. I always keep it open. When somebody wants to tell me something, I may not agree with it, but I want to hear it. I want to hear what you got to say. Because if it can help me, I want to help me. And if it can help you, I want to help you. And that's what we're about. Okay, I don't see anything yet, so hopefully you don't have those habits. And if you don't, that's great. I'm proud of it. I'm proud of it. Well, I still have some bad habits. I'm still paying a mortgage. And I want to get out of that habit of paying that mortgage. Because I'm being ripped off based on the system that is based on and the system that we have. I'm getting ripped off. So it's I don't know. Well, I've learned about it, what I didn't know about it. And it's just like a bank. It's a necessary evil. But you can put yourself in a position not to have one. And you can even put yourself in a position to not to have to create one. with what we have. We have a 12-week planning system that can put you in that position. Think about what I'm saying. Think about the whole realm of it, not just a little bit of it, a part of it, but the whole realm of it. And you'll understand what I'm talking about. So I'm saying, let's all get there. If we're not there already, let's get there. But the other most important thing is, let's take somebody with us. Let's take somebody with us. Let's look at some of the comments here, and then we'll close out. Review habits quickly, please. Thanks. Yes. Let's review our habits quickly, and let's do something about it. You need to gain trust first. If they don't trust you, they won't listen. So question would be, how do you gain trust in just a few minutes? Because they don't know me. Well, let me put it this way. Trust is earned. And they have to feel it from you. If they feel from you what you're talking to them about and what you're telling them, if they feel it and they feel that fervor that you have and that you really believe in what you're saying, you can build trust. Because guess what? They have to trust somebody, and why not you? The question is, are you trustworthy? Do you believe in what you're saying? Do you believe in what you're doing? Are you doing with what you're saying? That's what creates the trust. And when I think about my financial planning career, it was built on trust. And like I said, if you were able to interview one of my clients, they will say, Mark Stevens never sold me anything. What he did was he educated. Education creates trust. He educated me. And then he made recommendations, but I made the decisions. I trusted the recommendations that he made, and I made the decision. And I've never had a client to take me to court. I never had a client to say that you lied to me. But I've had them say, I thank you. I really appreciate you. What can I do to repay you? And I tell them what they can do. Whatever I've done to help you change your life, put you in a better position, do that for somebody else. And that's an extension of me. That's how you repay me. So that's how we do that. And that's who we are. That's who I want us to be. I want us to be people that people trust. I want our company, AdTech Worldwide, to be a company that people can trust. An educational company that shows you how to get your financial house in order, that you can trust. That's what it's all about. I always say the trust is the most important thing. And you hear Job Shu say, you have to do right by the customer. That's trust. But you also have to do right by the people around you. And that's what we believe, and that's what we live by. So, with that being said, peace and blessings to you. Make it a great day. Get with somebody and show them how they can change their life, how they can even change their career if they so desire, how they can even change the economy in their very own home if they desire. Because you're there to help them. You're there to guide them and show them the way. You're there to coach them, if you will. And you're not there to force anything upon them, but you're there to open up their learning through education, their knowledge. Because I'll say it again, knowledge might be power, but it's the knowledge that you use that creates the power. Because you can have the knowledge, and if you don't act on it, it doesn't really mean anything. So Make it a blessed day. Go out, help somebody, interact with somebody, share what you have with somebody, bring them into this family, and let us all pull together to help them. The world needs change. Without change, there's no progress. Without trust, there's no progress. But we offer both, and we can show them how to progress. So this is Mark Stevens for our host, Joe Chu, saying peace and blessings, everybody. Make it a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow back here on The Breakfast Club. Peace and blessings.